Most men miss flirting because women use something psychologists call covert signaling, tiny behaviors that look innocent but actually reveal interest. Once you learn to read these, you'll notice signs you've overlooked your entire life. And the wild part? The strongest indicator doesn't look like flirting at all. In fact, it's something she does without even knowing she's doing it. Stick around until the last point, because it's the one that changes everything. 1. She says, "You probably have a girlfriend," and waits to see how you respond. It sounds like a casual comment, maybe even a joke, but it's not. It's bait. What she's doing is floating a small test to see if you're available, and how you'll answer. If you say yes, she shrugs and moves on. If you say no, she smiles. But it's not just the answer she's watching, it's how you say it. Are you confident? Flustered? Amused? She's not just flirting, she's gathering intel. And if you answer with a bit of charm, like, "Would it matter if I did?" Or, "Only until you walked in," you're passing the test with flying colors. 2. She tells you she's bad at eye contact, while holding your gaze just a little too long. She says, "I'm terrible at eye contact," but she's still looking straight into your eyes. That's not insecurity. That's intentional tension. She's creating a contrast, what she says versus what she does, and that's the move. Flirting often lives in the contradiction. She wants you to notice the eye contact, but by pretending she's bad at it, she gives herself cover. If you meet her eyes back and hold them, she knows you're playing along. The moment stretches, and in that tiny silence, the flirtation gets loud. 3. She gives you a ridiculous fake nickname and watches if you start using it. Suddenly, you're Professor Serious, or Mr. Chaos, or the coffee snob. It's exaggerated, silly, completely made up, and totally strategic. She's not just teasing you. She's trying to create an inside joke, something that only exists between the two of you. If you use the nickname back, or give her one in return, you've stepped into her world, that shared language. That's chemistry. And if she keeps using it day after day, she's not just being playful. She's building rapport, one joke at a time. 4. She turns everything into a dare. "You wouldn't last 5 minutes at one of my classes. You'd never survive a weekend with me and my friends." Say that again. I dare you. She's not being serious. She's creating tension. When a woman flirts like this, she's poking to see if you'll poke back. It's not about the actual dare, it's about the game. She wants to feel that spark, that little back and forth where the stakes feel low, but the energy feels electric. If you rise to the dare and tease her right back, "Oh, I'd survive, you'd be the one tapping out," she knows she's found someone who can match her energy, and the flirting goes up a level. 5. She pretends to misunderstand you, but only in a flirty way. You say something innocent like, "I've been so busy today." She raises an eyebrow and replies, "Oh? Doing what exactly?" She knows what you meant, but she's deliberately twisting it, not to make you uncomfortable, but to make it playful. This kind of fake misinterpretation is a classic flirting tool. It gives her a way to inject a little innuendo or tension without committing to anything risky. If you laugh and lean into it, she'll do it again and again, until the whole conversation is bubbling with subtext. 6. She tells you a wild story, but acts like it's no big deal. She casually mentions that one time she went skinny dipping at midnight, or how she danced on a table in Barcelona, or how she once kissed someone on a dare. Then she shrugs like it's normal. But it's not. She's testing you, seeing how you react. She wants to know if you'll get flustered, if you'll judge her, or if you'll just grin and say, "Remind me never to challenge you to anything." The story isn't just a story. It's a controlled reveal. She's showing you a flash of her wilder side just to see what you'll do with it. 7. She creates fake deal breakers. Out of nowhere, she says, "Ugh, I could never date a guy who wears white sneakers." Or, "If you're a Gemini, it's over." Or, "Guys who like pineapple on pizza? Red flag." Is she serious? Of course not. She's flirting. These fake rules aren't real boundaries. They're designed to see how you'll respond. She wants you to challenge them, to push back, to be the exception. And if you say something like, "Well, I guess you'll have to break your rule for me," then congratulations. You're not just in the game. You're winning it. 8. She shows you a photo on her phone and holds it just close enough that your arms touch. She could have just described it. She could have sent it to you. But instead, she leans in and holds her phone close, so close your arms are touching, or your hands brush as you scroll. That's not an accident. It's subtle physical contact with a perfect excuse. It doesn't look like flirting, but it feels like it. And if she does it more than once, pay attention. That closeness isn't just about the photo. It's about you. 9. She acts fake jealous, then immediately plays it off. You mention another woman, and she suddenly gets snarky. "Oh, is she your girlfriend? She sounds lovely. You two would make such a cute couple." And then, snap, it's gone. She changes the subject. That's not real jealousy. That's playful, calculated, and completely on purpose. She's pretending to be jealous to see how you'll respond. Will you reassure her? Will you tease her back? Will you even notice what she just did? Most guys miss it. But if you catch it and say, wow, you're already getting territorial, now you're on her level and she knows it. 10. She turns a normal conversation into a moment. You're just talking. Nothing big. And then she says, I can't believe I'm telling you this. Or, this is weirdly deep. Or, I don't usually talk to people like this. Suddenly, the moment is no longer casual. It's framed as something special, something intimate. That's not random. That's her way of saying, this matters. She's not just chatting, she's creating emotional context. And once a woman does that, she's no longer just being nice. She's inviting you into her inner world. That's not small talk, that's flirting. Before we move on, if you're the kind of guy who wants to actually see what most men miss, not guess, not hope, drop signal reader in the comments. Let's see who's operating at a higher standard. 11. She suddenly needs your help with something easy. Her phone charger won't plug in. She can't open a water bottle. She forgot how to turn on the Bluetooth speaker. These aren't cries for help. They're pretexts for proximity. It's a soft signal that says, I want you closer, but I don't want to be obvious about it. When a woman flirts this way, she's not showing weakness. She's showing strategy. She's inviting you to lean in, to touch her hand, to bridge the physical space between you without either of you saying anything about it. Most guys think they're just being helpful. But if the moment feels just a little too close, a little too drawn out, she knows exactly what she's doing. 12. She roasts you with unusual precision. Teasing is easy, but teasing with detail? That's different. She notices your hyper-organized notes and calls you a control freak. She remembers how you ordered your drink and says you're weirdly high maintenance. These aren't just jokes, they're observations. And that means she's been paying close attention. The more specific the roast, the more likely it's flirtation. She's pulling details from your personality and repackaging them in a playful way, and when you laugh or fire something back at her, she lights up. That's exactly the exchange she was hoping for. 13. She compares you to fictional characters and makes sure it's flattering. You kind of remind me of that guy from that Netflix show. You know, the one who's low-key hot and kind of mysterious. This isn't a compliment in disguise. It's a full-on flirtation. When a woman makes comparisons like this, she's projecting attraction onto you in a way that's safe, deniable, and fun. She can always pretend it was a joke, but what she's really doing is planting an image in your head, one that's tied to charm, desirability, danger, or charisma. She's creating a version of you that's already romantic, without needing to say a word about how she feels. 14. She starts asking about your routine, where you go, when, and why. She suddenly wants to know where you get coffee, what gym you go to, what time you usually finish work. It might sound like small talk. It's not, it's mapping. She's trying to understand your world, your rhythm, your habits, because she wants to find a way to cross paths more often. If a woman's flirting, she'll engineer coincidences without ever admitting it. She shows up at your usual bar, starts mentioning she was just in the area. All of it feels casual. None of it is. If she's suddenly asking questions about where you'll be, don't miss the message. She wants to be where you are. 15. She playfully disqualifies herself from being your type, just to see if you'll correct her. She says, I'm probably not your type. I'm too much of a mess. Or, you probably only date tall girls, huh? She doesn't believe it. She's not putting herself down. She's giving you an opportunity to flirt back. The moment she suggests she's not your type, she's daring you to say otherwise. And if you do, especially with a smile or a bit of playful contradiction, she knows you're not just being polite, you're in the moment with her. You're pushing back. And in that little tug of war, the spark gets stronger. 16. She talks about astrology, enneagram types, or personality quizzes, and makes it feel intimate. She brings up signs, birth charts, attachment styles, love languages. It's not just girl talk, it's a relationship shortcut. These conversations let her talk about emotions, needs, attraction, and compatibility, without ever saying she likes you. She's building a shared emotional vocabulary, one where it's totally normal to say things like, you're definitely the protective type, or, you seem like someone who needs space but loves hard. And if you engage, if you ask her back, you're now inside the flirtation bubble. Emotional flirting often hides behind introspective questions, and women use it to create connection that feels personal, even before anything physical has happened. 17. She touches something of yours and makes a comment like it says everything about you. She picks up your keys, your notebook, your hoodie. She holds it for a second longer than she needs to and says, this is so you. It's not about the object, it's about intimacy. When she interacts with your belongings, she's playing with the idea of closeness, ownership, familiarity. She's acting like she already knows you, like you belong in the same world. It's soft, it's subtle, and it flies under most guys' radar. But if she's flirting, she'll keep doing it. And the more you let her, the more comfortable she gets, stepping further into your space. 18. She jokes about what kind of boyfriend you'd be, without ever admitting she's imagining it. You'd be the worst boyfriend. You'd forget anniversaries and leave dishes in the sink. She says it with a smirk, like it's just a joke. But what she's really doing is planting the idea she's opening the door to the conversation without walking through it. It's hypothetical, but not really. She wants you to say something back to challenge her, to tell her what kind of boyfriend you'd actually be. And the moment you do, the whole dynamic shifts. You've stepped out of the friend zone and into something charged, something with possibilities. 19. She jokes that people probably think you two are a couple, and watches how you react. You're out together, or sitting close, or laughing in sync. And she says, people probably think we're dating. Just a throwaway comment. But not really. That line is designed to test the waters, to see if the idea makes you squirm or smile. If you play it cool and say, well, they wouldn't be totally wrong, or even just grin and keep the moment going, she knows you're comfortable with the idea. She's flirting by floating the possibility, giving you both a version of the story where you're together. Without saying it outright, if you react well, expect more moments like this to follow. 20. She mirrors you, but with a delay. You run a hand through your hair. A minute later, she does the same. You lean back. She follows. Not immediately, but soon after. Mirroring is a deeply subconscious sign of connection, but when a woman is consciously flirting, she'll often do it just a beat later than usual, so it's subtle, but noticeable. It's her way of saying, I'm attuned to you. I'm in sync with your energy. It might be the way she holds her drink, the way she phrases something, even the emoji she uses in a text. When it keeps happening, and when it feels too aligned to be coincidence, it probably isn't. She's not just copying you, she's connecting with you, without saying a word. Up next, discover the signs she loves you but is afraid of commitment, or learn how to tell if she's turned on by you. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.